No one was surprised when Willie Martinez came to the podium to talk about the Vols yesterday. No one was surprised when Jermod McCoy came to the podium to talk about the Vols during their media session, as he is a likely starter for this upcoming season. Will Brooks, though,
Hey now.
that was a little bit of a surprise. Will Brooks goes out there, former walk-on, and there's talk about how great he is doing in preseason camp. Caleb, much like, let me ask you this. Is that a cause for concern? If Will Brooks is really a contender for playing time at safety, is that a cause for concern?
It's a huge cause for concern, guys. This would suggest. Okay, you be ever the optimist, Dave.
I will hear you out. Go ahead.
Okay, so Will Brooks, Jordan Thomas goes down for the season. Tennessee turning to a walk-on to take over at safety after all the woes we have heard about them having at secondary in the past. That lends itself to the idea that Tennessee got worse in the secondary with all the players they lost this past offseason. Now, caveat. Boo Carter's young, extremely young, a true freshman. Maybe Will Brooks is a transition while they get Boo Carter ready to take over for the first team within a couple of weeks. But him working with the first team now is a very, very, very red flag. I'm just going to be honest. It's a red flag. It is concerning. I'm sorry, Dave. It is. You can disagree with me all day, but it's a major concern.
Well, Boo's going to most likely, I think, play the star position now that you have Jordan Thomas out of there. I think that's Christian Harrison and Boo Carter for that position. So if we want to look at Will Brooks at safety, I think that part of the reason he's getting more run there does have to do with Boo, because I think they were giving him a look everywhere, including the safety positions. So you're right in that the Jordan Thomas injury probably prompted this. I'm going to give you two words right now, and it's Bill Bates. Tennessee has had walk-ons before that have stayed with the program and have contributed. And I believe here's what plays out in Will Brooks's career. He plays some, he plays sparingly. He doesn't play a lot. He doesn't play significant snaps for the Vols this season. However, he is a coach on the field, a guy that can help people on the sideline. And I think that is undervalued, especially because I'm not incredibly high on Willie Martinez. So I think Will Brooks being in the conversation is a good thing, a great thing, as a matter of fact, for Tennessee. But Caleb, much like, let's say, I don't know, the running backs in spring practice, I don't put a lot of stock in he's going to be on the starting lineup come September.
Okay, that's fair. So then you're with me. You don't believe him, and you're just hoping that, well, not hoping, but you think the hope for Tennessee is that he is a transition until somebody else is able to emerge at that spot.
Yes. And I would also argue this, and tell me I'm wrong, and I want to hear from you on the message board. Will Brooks was a walk-on. The fact that he's even developed into a player that could potentially push for playing time says a lot about Tennessee's development, doesn't it? I mean, I look back at his recruitment. He was a nowhere guy. We talk about somewhere, anywhere, nowhere guys in your selections and colleges that you can go to out of high school. He didn't have options. He wanted to be a walk-on at Tennessee, and it's the bell curve. The only smart thing that Derek Dooley said is the bell curve. On one side, you've got your high-risk guys that are high talent, which may be a James Pierce. On the other side, you've got your low-risk, low-talent guys, which is probably a Will Brooks. Most of your guys, you want to be in the middle. You want to be great character, great talent, both of the all the above. But in this case, I think you got Will Brooks that can help Tennessee in more ways than just his athletic ability.
So, do you think he would actually see action this year, Will Brooks?
Okay, let's define action. Are you talking about mop-up duty? Because you would agree he's going to see mop-up duty in the second half, right?
Yes, I could give you that. he might see mop-up duty.
Well, I think a lot of mop-up duty given this offense. Do I think he will play significant snaps? Yes. When I think they go to dime, I think he'll play significant snaps. When they add a defensive back, I think there will be time he'll play significant snaps, and I have no problem with that. I think Will Brooks is a smart player. I think he's going to be in the right position. The thing that would scare me with Will Brooks is when you face a quarterback with a strong arm. I worry about his ability to close on a receiver. That would be my one concern. If you think that Will Brooks can't play, Caleb, then we need to at least discuss the possibility that Tennessee trotted him out there as a reward for his hard play. Is that a possibility?
Oh, I think that's very possible. I think that maybe it's a way to send some sort of a message to the secondary at that point that, hey, some of you guys need to step up. We're putting some pressure on you guys. We brought you guys in here to perform. It's high time you did. Now, if you say Boo Carter's moving to star, see, the reason I think there's a concern is that signals to me that he's not as exciting of a freshman as we thought he might be. Because, I mean, let's be honest, if you put your better player at safety over star, even in this day and age in college football.
Now, I think that star's the more difficult position. I actually think the opposite. I think that Jordan Thomas playing at star was a way for Boo Carter to be able to find his way in Tennessee's defensive backfield, and the plan was for him to be the star long term. That's the way I'm reading the way they're doing things right now.
Okay, so you don't think there's any issues with this? I mean, Dave, I'm just having a hard time thinking that. Quite honestly, I got to be honest.
No, I completely understand. I just have seen situations before where I think it's a combination of two things. I think he's worked hard. I think they trot him out there. And I think it's a reward for him, even though some guys don't like talking to the media. I think he deserves the pub. It's not a coincidence to me that he was out there the day before their off day, so he gets even more pub. Caleb, I think it's a combination of he can play, he has developed, and he probably got a little bit more pub on the middle of the camp Monday than he would have had he been a player that the coaches didn't like. Fair way to put it?
Okay. No, okay. I can get with that. But again, it is the Deshaun Bishop thing.
Let me meet you halfway. If Will Brooks is in the starting lineup against Chattanooga, something bad has happened. Is that fair?
Yes. I guess that's where I'm going. If he's in the starting lineup, there's a big problem.
If he's in the game in the fourth quarter against Georgia or Alabama, there's been a problem in the secondary, right?
Absolutely, there has been. Definitely.
Yes. Okay. So I don't think that's going to happen, and I'll tell you why. First 30 seconds from Medicare Misty.
19 years this year. I've been in the community since 1993. You're getting a lot of information. Unlike when you were working, they made the choice for you. Now you have to make the choice. Come to us and let us help you make it easy. Call Medicare Misty, MedicareMisty.com or 423-777-5577. Let us help them sleep at night.
And we call her Medicare Misty.
I remind you that Medicare Misty is licensed in over 40 states, so no matter where you're watching, she can help you with no charge on all your Medicare questions and your Medicare needs. Here's why I don't think it's really an issue, Brooks. I think they have a significant amount of safeties, and I'm talking about Jacoby Thomas, I think would be one. I think that Christian Charles could possibly be another. I think Andre Turrentine could be another. If Will Brooks gets in there, he's going to have to overcome quite a bit. And I didn't even mention corners like Jordan Matthews or Jalen McMurray, who have more athletic ability, would they look at any point this week in sliding them to safety? I wouldn't rule that out either. So I just don't believe Will Brooks is going to be in the starting lineup against Chattanooga or in key situations later in the season.
Well, okay, and I'm actually with you on that too. I mean, I'll give you that. That's. I don't think that's crazy. I just think that it's a red flag that they're bringing him out now. Dave, let me ask you this: do you think they'd bring him out if Jordan Thomas didn't get hurt?
No, I think that's fair.
Yes, that's where I'm standing on this. Is that if Jordan Thomas didn't get hurt, they wouldn't be bringing him out. So they're doing this as a reaction to an injury. So this does not mean it's a red flag long term, but it is a red flag right now until they find it. Put it this way, it's a dynamic red flag. Does that make sense?
Well, you don't mean dynamic as it's huge. You mean it could move, right?
Yes, it's a dynamic red flag and that it could move.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.